let's now get to the sexy part of the conversation, and that's the words of President Bola Tinubu. He says he wants agriculture to be sexy for Nigerian youths. It was a few days ago that the president launched the Renewed Hope Agricultural Mechanization Program with the hope of engaging 2,000 or getting 2,000 advanced tractors, 50 industry-grade land preparation bulldozers, 12 fully equipped mobile workshops, and 9,000 plus specialized farming implements. The president says that his administration is fulfilling his promise to Nigerians to position Nigeria as a global powerhouse in agriculture. Let me remind you of what he said.
Please now welcome your
vision extends beyond mere self-sufficiency. We envision Nigeria as a global agricultural powerhouse, supplying quality produce to international markets while ensuring every citizen has access to affordable nutrition food. That's why we took a bold decision to establish this Renewed Hope Agricultural Mechanization Program. We are just beginning. This equipment, when deployed, to empower mechanization and service providers, create job opportunities, make farmers easy and more sexy to our younger.
Let's get to understand what sexy means when it comes to agriculture and whether or not the Nigerian youth understand the sexiness of getting their hands dirty. I'm being joined tonight by the Ministry of State for Agriculture, Senator Shabi Abdullah. It's live for us here in our Abuja studio. Thanks so much, Your Excellency, for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
What is sexiness in the language of President Bola Tinubu?
Well, thank you very much for having me. First, I think it's quite remarkable that we are achieving this milestone. Because the president is deeply concerned about the state of food insecurity in the country. And like I said, this is a very bold decision, one that has never happened before. The scale of what is being done now is bigger than any other thing that has ever been done. Now, I think to come back to your question directly, of course, the word is just to say very appealing and exciting. And the reason for this is not far-fetched. Record has shown that the perception of the young Nigerians in terms of agriculture is they see agriculture as that, never do well vocation that is populated by all haggard-looking people and so on and so forth. But then the business of agriculture is a serious business. And I think if we are able to tap from the very huge natural endowment of this country, then that very exciting and appealing nature of agriculture can be achieved. The young Nigerians today believe that IT, for example, is a very major, part of their life. And today we are talking about precision agriculture. And in precision agriculture, everything is done at scale. Everything is done with so much precision in terms of the level of, competency that you need to deploy, the level of expertise that is deployed, and even the types of machineries that you used. So here we are looking at mechanization. Rather than a situation where you are having hoe and cutlass, that is not appealing. And so with mechanization, these particular machines that you've seen are high, very modern, equipment. They are equipped with almost everything modern, including artificial intelligence. And so the capacity, for example, the planters, and even the plows. You are talking about how you are going to be able to prepare the land. And by the time you plant and you see the rows looking very straight, that is appealing. I'm sure if you see anything that is appealing, you enjoy it. And this is being done not by hand, but by machineries. And the young Nigerians are able to, if they are able to take charge of these opportunities, They can do that. And I think that is already even happening. Right?
Let's look at the figures. What are you planning? What are the indices that you're looking at in terms of food production? And how we get to why Nigerian youths need to take on to get their end dirty, because AI is there, data science is there.
Data science is there.
Technology is there. So why should they leave that and go into agriculture?
Because agriculture, when done correctly, deploying the right technologies and the right tools is very lucrative. There's a lot of money in agriculture. And I give you an example. If, for example, we are able to deploy the right tool in wheat production, for example, you are capable of producing, say, 4 tons. I'm just even taking something lower, per hectare. Within 3 months, you'll be able to make, per hectare, you'll be able to make almost like 2 million as a gain, if you are able to get it right. And the sexiness here is that deploying the right technology is what will make it sexy.
Would they have the funds? We're talking about people who are in their 19, 20 years of age, who are just getting out of school.
You see,
how do they access those kind of
are the things we're trying to unlock now. As far as these facilities are concerned, what we are looking at is we are targeting the Nigerian youth. We are developing a scheme where we'll be able to get them to form themselves into groups. Because you see, we have universities of agriculture, we have faculties of agriculture, and we have young Nigerians who have gone for training. And what needs to be done is for you to be able to bring them together, let them form some, entities that they can work together, different competencies brought together, and easily they can access some of these facilities. That's what is being looked at. Now, in doing so, together with the state government, we are also looking at a situation where they will be able to have access to land. Because we are looking at various, it's more or less like looking at a bouquet of so many things that have to be done for us to get the agriculture right. For example, cooperatives. We are working very hard to reform the cooperatives so that young Nigerians can also come under cooperatives, use that platform to get machineries that they can use to deploy to their various farms. And I think if we are able to achieve this, the young Nigerians would definitely take it. Because,
Minister,
mark you, we have said it statistically, more than 60% of our Nigerian population are employed in the agricultural sector.
But let's look at it, Minister. We had a setback. 2 years ago or thereabout, we had heavy flooding that washed away Olam's farms and several farms in Benue, Kogi and its environs. There are those who say we have not recovered from it. And from statistics, which shows that food insecurity is affecting about 33 million Nigerians.
Well, you see, all these statistics, I'm not going to speak on that because I don't even know what was the basis, what is the methodology. I have no insight into that. And you see, it's high time as a nation we begin to believe in ourselves. Because when you tell me somebody sits somewhere and says, oh, so number of people, so number of people, so number of people, who collected these data? We have 36 states, an FCT, 774 local governments. Now, I will tell you for a fact that we in the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, we have what we call annual performance evaluation, survey that is normally conducted by the Nigerian National Agricultural Extension Research Liaison Services that is based in ABU. They've gone around every rainy season. They are empowered to go around. And the 2024 season, they've gone around. And what was reported is marginal increase. The only crop that did not witness a marginal increase is millet. And the report was presented. We presented the report. Now, at the end of the day also, we are not claiming, and I think I need to score this point very strongly, we are not claiming there are no challenges. There are challenges. But so are challenges all over the world.
But do we have enough food in storage for Nigeria? We are lagging behind, especially in rice production. We are not able to feed ourselves sufficiently. We are not producing as much as we consume.
Listen to me, my Shehu. Let's get one thing clear. You see, you take only one side of the story all the time. Federal government does not produce. It is Nigerians that produce. And as far as I know, I'm also a farmer. And I relate with farmers on the ground. As a politician, I represented farmers. My senatorial district is 44,000 square kilometers. One of these is about the largest senatorial district, and they are all farmers. So what I want to tell you is simple, that you see, we produce. But what people did not find out is when we produce, what happened to what we produce? This is where the issue is. That's number one. Number two, God forbid, Nigeria has not gotten to that state in which you go to the market and they will tell you there is no food. I don't think that is the situation.
What has happened to the prices recently?
That is what you should be talking about.
Have you crashed the prices?
Now, the prices are going down. In fact, just 2 days ago, I was reading a report about the price of beans. Haven't come down. And even the price of, what do they call it, paddy rice, is down now. It's not like what it used to be. Now, what I'm telling you is that the whole idea behind the agricultural mechanization scheme and the entire intervention by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is for us to first stabilize the very precarious situation we met.
Are we stable now, Minister?
We are almost stable.
The president declared the state of emergency.
Yes, we are still in a state of emergency.
We are still there?
Yes, we are still in a state of emergency.
Are we still finding it difficult? Because there is, our doors were open for importation of rice. Is that still going on?
Well, we told you it was just a window, and that window has closed since. It was because of the lean period. So what I want you to know is that there is no one single, solution that you prefer to say you want to solve food system. And that's why the president said, Nigeria is now working towards food sovereignty. And what is food sovereignty? A situation where Nigeria will be in total control of its sources and, management of all our food sources, which means we shouldn't be dependent.
All the major grains, millet, maize, and rice, were lagging in production. Give us an understanding, or have we been able to catch up? What has been the statistics over the last 1 or 2 years?
You see, Shehu, let's not rush statistics. Let's look at
because I have the data, since you are not interested in the data...
No, excuse me.
Since you are not interested in the data... I will not be interested
because I don't know the source of the data, that's number one. I don't know the methodology in which the data were collected.
But you should know how much of rice we consume, Minister.
I don't know the time frame within which those data were collected. I'm a researcher. Nobody can bamboozle me with data.
But it's easy for us to...
No, Shehu,
it's easy for us to calculate, Minister.
Listen. What I want you to know is this. Why not let's talk about what is the situation on ground? You see, we talked about 2,000 tractors. Remember, that is just the federal government. And don't forget, because of the very visionary leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the fact that under the auspices of the National Economic Council, chaired by the Vice President, His Excellency Kashim Shettima, there is a lot of work going on. Together with the economic management team and every other thing, we have the Presidential Food System Coordinating Unit, in which all of us are members with state governors. What we are looking at is, how do we close all the gaps?
That is the question I'm asking, Minister. Have we been able to close the gap?
That is exactly
we were in a precarious situation.
Listen, that is what I'm
led
telling
the president
you now.
to declare state of emergency.
Where
are we right now?
You are asking the question. Ask the question.
I've asked the question. Where are we right now?
While I'm talking, listen to me.
Where are we right now, Minister?
We are making progress.
Okay.
I want to say very clearly we are making progress. And you see, let's not deceive ourselves. We are not magicians. And we are not promising anybody that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said, oh, he's going to perform magic. When he does one thing, bam, it's gone. No. But what I can assure you is that while we are stabilizing, remember when you are stabilizing something, it comes in gradual phases. And so what we've realized is that first, why did we even get into where we are? There are challenges we cannot fight just because you don't have control over them. The climate change phenomenon is one. That's why you talked about the flooding. Isn't it? Now, as much as we cannot control flooding, but we need to change course. We need to look at the strategies. And looking at the strategies is first, out of the 93 million hectares of arable land Nigeria has, we are cultivating just about 34 million. Now, even in that 34 million, at what productivity level? The productivity is low because we are using, more or less like hoe and cutlass. So, the idea of this mechanization, implements, and all the like is to definitely reduce the drudgery associated with all this production system. Let me show you one example. Somebody had 10 hectares of rice, and he did it in a plain, where usually Fadama plain and whatnot, and sometimes with rains. Before he could finish harvesting, rains has already started, the water has flooded. If it's with machinery, because he's using manual, if it's with machinery, this type of combined harvester that we have just brought, definitely it will take him just 1 day 2 days.
All right,
maximum.
Yeah.
So all of these issues, listen,
Yeah.
all of these issues are the things we are looking at to ensure that our production system begins to get improvement in a way that we will never have to go back to where
Because I was going to
we
ask
had.
you, the over 2,000 mechanized implements that the president launched. And he said he's looking at the globalization of our agricultural production. Meaning that not only that we will feed ourselves, but we'll
be able
also
to
be able
produce,
to
yes,
export.
we have the capacity.
But the big question here is that how do you get these 2,000 to the local environment, knowing that subsistence farming is still very popular in our, and there are those who will say, look, even the farmers are unable to go to farms in many states of the country.
Yes.
In the northeast of the country, in Benue State, in
some
part
parts,
of Nasarawa, in some parts of the country. There is the issue of insecurity.
Yes.
Are the farmers able to go back to farms? What are the assurances?
As precarious as the situation looks like, please, let's recognize progress that have been made. There are areas where farmers have been able to go back. And I think the case of Kaduna State is very clear. The Benue axis, for years, more than 10 years, they were not able to go to farm. Now that place has been secured back for farming. So I'm not saying that everything is gone. No, there are still challenges. And the president is not lying low as far as the challenges are concerned. And that's why the security agents are always being given that marching order by Mr. President, as he has done in Benue State, and to try to what? Get farmers to go back. And there are many other communities that are also making effort. But if they go back, we need to support them to what? To produce. And this is where these implements are useful. Now, what we have done is that we are having, right now, that is the work being done. We are looking at a proposal in which states will also be given part of these tractors based on a program that we are looking at to support, food production. We are having the farmers' organization or associations. They also will be beneficiaries. We are having the cooperatives. They also will be beneficiaries. We are having young Nigerian farmers or youth, very youthful Nigerians that have formed themselves into farming clusters. They also will be beneficiaries. And what we are looking at here is that there's going to be some element of subsidy involved. And all of these things will also be accompanied with training of the what? Those who are even going to drive these tractors, because they have to be trained. It's all part of the package. And that's why we are saying we have 12 well-equipped mobile training vans. All of this is to service all of this equipment. So it's not just buying and dumping. No, we want it to really serve the purpose.
Minister, there was a signed deal of $1 billion agreement with Brazil to enhance agriculture.
That is the GIP.
The GIP.
That is the
How far with it? What's the ultimate?
They are in the process of setting off. It's a project, and it's not a one-year project. It's a long-term project.
Okay.
Now, most of the, I think they are doing the staffing now, trying to do this administrative setup. They need to have all of those things. I think that's what they are doing now. It's still on.
All right. Yeah. But largely, and this is perhaps where I like us, right? The assurances a lot of Nigerians need.
Yeah.
We do not want to see a situation, even when President Tinubu gets out of office, where another government will come and declare a state of emergency on food security. What are we doing? Are we being deliberate in terms of storage, in terms of futuristic plan of sustainability? Nigeria was an agro economy. Years ago. What happened to have we learned from it? Going forward, how are we consolidating to ensure that we are no longer oil hungry to the point that we forget other aspects of our economy?
Well, thank you very much. In the first instance, when you even talk about food security, the moment that is not happening on a sustainable basis, that person is not food secure. For you to be food secure, you need to have access to food, which must be available, and it should also be affordable. And you must be able to have that right nutritious, content. And we believe very strongly that Nigeria has diversity and variety in this. That's why as a ministry, we have carefully looked at, from the south to the north, the 6 geopolitical zones. We've taken a very careful look at the various food types that they have. And to that extent,
peculiar to them.
Yes, peculiar to them. And so what we have done now is that we are having a policy guide now, because you asked what are we doing intentionally. Intentionally, we have now identified what we call the Tier 1 crops. The tier 1 crops are the things that from Lagos to Kano, Maiduguri, everywhere they are consumed. And I think everybody knows that. We are talking about rice, we are talking about wheat. Wheat product is anything that has to do with cake, bakeries, bread, and all the like. And then we are talking about beans, we are talking about yam, potato. So we have done carefully that,
cassava,
including,
I guess.
Yeah, cassava, including tomatoes, what do they call it, onions, and the like. I think we have about 11 crops, if I'm not mistaken. Then we looked at the tier 2 crops that is consumed maybe 75% of the locations. And in the other one, maize is also part of it. So what we are doing now is that we are trying to be more intentional so that we can put our money where our mouth is. Now, we also realized we cannot depend on rainy season, dry season. No, we have to now do what we call all year round cropping, which means if you are able to harvest your crop after 4 months, if you have access to water, then you should continue cropping. And I think we are encouraging a number of our farmers in the areas where these advantages are. And along that side also, we are looking at the various irrigation facilities that we're having. In terms of the equipment, for example,
maybe greenhouse farming.
Yeah, solar, what do they call it, facilities, using renewable energy to power the irrigation, machineries. Now, that also we are considering, and we are doing, as far as some of the programs we are already doing are concerned, and we are seeing the kind of result that is giving us. So what we are saying in essence is that for sustainability's sake, Nigeria must do the right thing. And that is why one of the other adjunct to it is the fact that where do we plant? We plant on the soil. And if the soil is not healthy, you cannot get anything. You just be wasting your time. So that's why we're introducing the National Soil Health Scheme, which will soon be launched again, hopefully by Mr. President, but definitely is already up for launch. Now, this is to help farmers identify the type of fertilizer they need per soil and how they are also going to apply it, because in some soil, they don't need certain fertilizer, but farmer will just go and throw fertilizer. That is waste of money. We really need to bring down the cost of production in agriculture.
Thank you so much, Minister.
So these are part of the things we are doing, and many other more, because honestly, we've been working.
You look food secured. You don't look like
I give glory to God.
You don't look like the economy of Nigeria.
And you exactly look very food secure. Thanks to what we are doing.
Thank you so much, Minister.
Thank you very much.
Senator Swabi Abdullah, Minister of State for Agriculture. Thanks so much indeed. And I wish you the very best.